हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, मैं वसंत यादव आज इंग्लिश क्लास 12 में एल बासम द्वारा लिखा द हेरिटेज ऑफ इंडिया के लेक्चर वीडियो पार्ट 1 को कंटिन्यू करते हुए लेक्चर वीडियो पार्ट 2 को इंग्लिश में बताऊंगा। इसे कंसंट्रेट होकर रिसीव करें। लेट्स बिगिन। राम मोहन राव had sounded the theme with his passionate advocacy of social reform. Vivekanand repeated it with a more national timber when he declared that the highest form of service of the great mother was social service. Other great Indians, chief of whom was Mahatma Gandhi, developed the theme of social service as a religious duty, and the development continues under Gandhi's successors. In these lines, the writer says that many famous social reformers appeared in India in modern age. Among them, the name of Raja Ram Mohan Rao, Swami Vivekanand, and Mahatma Gandhi are well known. They liberated Indians from their petty conditions, false traditions, and customs. The author says that Raja Mohan Rao was a great leader of social reforms. In the same way, Vivekanand repeated the same idea with nationalism. According to Vivekanand, the greatest service to the motherland was social service. Mahatma Gandhi gave the message to the people that the meaning of social service is the complete religious duty. He added religion with the reforms. His successor also developed his theory in the time to come. The religion of the Mahatma Gandhi was mainly based on non-violence and forgiveness. As the result, he became the greatest personality of the modern world. He was the greatest supporter of liberty. Thanks. Next, Mahatma Gandhi was looked on by many, both Indian and European, as the epitome of Hindu traditions. But this is a false judgment, for he was much influenced by Western ideas. Gandhi believed in the fundamentals of ancient culture, but his passionate love of the underdog and his antipathy to caste, though not unprecedented in ancient India, were unorthodox in the extreme and owed more to European 19th century liberalism than to anything Indian. In these lines, the author has described so many great Indian reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Rao and Swami Vivekanand. The author has also described their greatest effort to bring reforms in society. According to author, that certainly Mahatma Gandhi was esteemed by all the forerunner of Hindu's faith and traditions, but in the opinion of author, such evaluations is quite improper. The author does not agree to such evaluation. He believes that to great extent Mahatma Gandhi was highly influenced by the Western philosophy of life. Although Mahatma Gandhi had never failing faith in the primarily principle of Hindu cultures, he had deep love for the downtrodden classes of society. His all efforts are related with the welfare of modern European open-minded thinkers. In this sense, he was quite different to other Indian reformers. Thanks. Next, his championing of women's rights is also the result of Western influence. In his social context, he was always rather an innovator than a conservative. Though some of his colleagues thought his program of limited social reforms too slow, he succeeded in shifting the whole emphasis of Hindu thought towards a popular and egalitarian social order in place of the hierarchy of classes and castes. In these lines, the author says that Mahatma Gandhi did his best effort to improve the condition of underdeveloped India. He was not an abridgment Hindu traditions. He was not conservative, but he was more progressive. Gandhi was a social reformer. He always introduced new thoughts. Some of his followers thought that he was very slow in implementation his program of social reforms, but he was able to support the Hindu ideas. He tried his best to establish a society based on equality of all. His theory of Owen's right is the result of Western influence. The author has said that he was always an innovator than a conservative. Thanks. Politically and economically, India faces many problems of great difficulties, and no one can forecast her future with any certainty. But it is safe to predict that whatever the future may be, the Indians of coming generations will not be unconvincing and self conscious copies of Europeans, but will be men rooted in their traditions and aware of the continuity of their culture. In these lines, the writer tells us the attitude which the Indians would form towards the European influences in the coming years. The writer says that there are several political problems before independent India. The Indian economic is also undeveloped, and the Indians faces serious economic problems. Despite this serious problem, the people of India would work hard for a bright future. The author forecast with the certainty that the Indians of the coming generations will not be blind followers of Europe. They would first know the utility of new European ideas before borrowing it from there. In coming years, the Indian youth would be proud of their own traditions and cultures and would not borrow things and traditions of Europe as their blind followers. Thanks. Next, Hindu civilization will, we believe, retain its continuity. The Bhagavad Gita will not cease to inspire men of action, and the Upanishad men of thought. The charm and graciousness of the Indian way of life will continue, however much affected it may be. The labor-saving devices of the West, people will still love tales of the heroes of Mahabharata and Ramayana, and of the love of Dushyant and Shakuntala, and Purva and Urvasi. In these lines, the writers pointed out that Hindu civilization is known for its quality of assimilating the influence of foreign culture. Hence, change have been continuously taking place in the Indian cultures. The author expresses the thought that Indian civilization will always be moving on forward and it will never perish. Person devoted to the performance of duty will not go on getting inspirations from the Gita. The Upanishad will continue to give inspiration to men of thought. It is true that they might be influenced to some extent by the European culture, but they will always love the story of the great epic called the Mahabharata and Ramayana. They will always study the play of Kalidas with keen interest. The love stories of Dushyant and Shakuntala and Purva and Urvasi will continue to provide them great pleasure and enjoyment. Thanks. Now, last paragraph. Cost is vanishing. The process began long ago, but its pace is now so rapid that the more objectionable features of caste may have disappeared within a generation or so. The old family system is adapting itself to present day conditions. In fact, the whole faces of India is altering, but the cultural traditions continue and it will never be lost. In these lines, the writer says that in 20th century, a great changes has been brought in Indian culture. The main changes are abolition of animals sacrifice, rigidity of caste system, burning of widows, child, marriage and untouchability, etc. The present day society of India is discarding the difference of the basis of the so-called high and low caste. The process of discarding such differences began to sometime again, but now its speed has not a rapid increase. It is expected that the coming generation will totally discard the rigid rules of caste system. The traditional family system is undergoing great changes and it will have its adjustment with the new developments. Now, India is passing thought a stage of rapid change, but it is an admitted fact that the tradition of Indian cultures will go on and they will continue forever. Thanks.